Hello, my name is Luke Mardigan, and you are listening to Be Insured, where we talk about business, leadership, and insurance. That way, on your worst day, when you need it the most, you will be insured. Every business leader listening wants to serve their customers well. But have you ever wondered if great customer service isn't the benchmark we should be striving for? Let me tell you why I ask. For a long time, I clung to this benchmark and I let it motivate how my team interacted with clients until I realized how empty it was, especially when I compared it to our agency core values, which talk a lot about fulfilling the promises we make to our customers. And then I realized if we want to strengthen our relationship with them and keep them coming back, which retention is a huge thing to insurance agents, our customer service experience needed to focus less on simply servicing our clients and more on consistently fulfilling the promises we make to them in the sales process. So during this episode, we are going to kill customer service. Customer service, you're dead. And we're going to talk about how shifting your focus toward customer fulfillment is the key to turning ordinary clients into raving fans of your brand. So I'm excited to be joined by my awesome co-host and my director of operations at the Mardigan Agency, Alick Nurnberg. Thanks so much for joining me.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Thanks, Luke.
So why are we killing customer service?
We're killing customer service because...
I told you to.
Yeah,
right.
That's exactly right. I don't have a choice.
We're killing customer service. It's dead. Number one, because we're at the time of this show, we have Halloween coming up, and it just makes sense. You got to kill off some main character, right? And that's kind of like the plot line of every show.
Every time.
It's got to be the one that you really didn't want to die. You know,
right. Yeah.
Johnny and Peaky Blinders. Still upset about that. We're killing it because customer service is when you have a problem, right? I call Verizon and talk to their customer service rep who's working off of a script in a call center, has no vested interest in my account or whether I stay, right, other than he might, a survey or something later might get sent out that asks me how my experience went, which probably go to my spam folder. Yeah, and I'll never do. Hey, fill out the survey. You get a $25 Amazon gift card. Woo!
Right.
Like, no, I'm good.
No, thanks.
I'm good. I got other things to do.
Your free taco at Taco Bell.
Yeah, but otherwise, that guy at Verizon doesn't have any interest in keeping me as a client, making sure that my experience with them is good, positive, negative, doesn't really matter to him. He just reads off a script, does his job, and he collects a paycheck.
Right.
And usually the only reason why I would ever call Verizon, which I don't because I have a phenomenal personal independent rep who takes care of me because that's how we work relationships. The only time I've ever called Verizon, actually, I had to call Sprint. Sorry, Sprint. But when I had Sprint back in the day, because we had Nextels at the police department, we'd chirp each other,
so long ago.
Oh yeah, it feels like another lifetime. But at the time I called them is because I had a problem. I had a billing issue. My phone wasn't working. Reception kept going out. My chirp on my Nextel wasn't like connecting with other phones. I kept getting the boop, boop. Right. Only old people are going to know that reference, but you probably don't even know that reference, do you?
Oh, barely, just barely. Like I
from
wasn't
TV
old enough
shows
to have
in the
it.
90s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like Saved by the Bell when you had the brick phone.
Yeah.
I called them because I had a problem. My stuff wasn't working. And so that person needed to service my account. Just think about that term even, service.
You lose confidence in whoever is you're conducting business with. I mean,
100%. And then when do things need servicing?
When things are bad.
And they're broke.
Yeah.
Like I don't take my car in for service because it's going well. I'm not like, hey, my car is perfect. Can I just give you some money and
continue something perfect?
Driving it normal. Right. I'm taking it in for service work because there's something up with it, now, so there is ongoing service for autos. So that's kind of a bad example, but you get the idea. And
outside of routine
maintenance, right? Just like you should do a review with your insurance agent. That's just routine maintenance of your policy. That's not customer service.
Highly advised.
Yes. So, and that's smart too. You're just maintaining it. But, so why do we shift our focus to customer fulfillment from customer service? Why was customer service such a poor, ineffective benchmark for our agency? Because we were only measuring the problems our clients had.
Right.
And that's completely reactive. So our core values are, the acronym's PERMA. It comes from positive psychology. Dr. Marty Sellenberg, something from the University of Pennsylvania, came up with this whole Seligman. Sorry, Martin Seligman. Sorry, Doc. I've read like all of his books. I don't know why I drew a blank on that. Sorry. Martin Seligman is one of the fathers of positive psychology. People underneath him, Angela Duckworth wrote the book Grit, which is a New York Times bestseller, phenomenal book on mental toughness and overcoming and how to be successful using grit, measuring grit factor. All these great things came out of that, but one of them is this concept of PERMA: positivity, engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievement. And so if we're trying to live positively, which is we're going to encourage each other, and if we're going to be engaged, which means, our phones are away, we're actually like in the moment with a client, we're giving them the attention they deserve, and we are building strong relationships, relationships are always built on a foundation of trust and friendship, usually commonality, right?
Yep.
And then if we're looking at living a life of meaning, where we're actually serving other human beings, like serving, not servicing, serving other human beings, and we want to achieve our goals, then we can't just focus on the reactive.
Fact.
Like, if you are reacting because your marriage is falling apart, it's too late.
Too late.
Like,
you need to be proactive.
You missed the exit.
Yeah, right.
Like, you're doing a U-turn.
Yeah.
It's not a good position to be in, right?
Just playing catch up at that point, kind of.
Yeah. And you're also focusing on the negative.
Yeah.
You're focusing on the 1 out of 100 clients that had some type of negative experience with something in your agency.
Right.
Right. So that's not a good measure. And, big corporations like the Verizons and the Sprints and stuff like that, they probably do have to have some type of measurement of that to an extent because they just, the sheer volume. But we're a boutique insurance agency.
Right. I
think most like Michigan-based businesses, they're going to, if you're under 10 million in sales, you're pretty boutique. Like, you can actually like touch and reach out to your clients on a pretty regular basis.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about customer fulfillment instead of customer service. Why do we make this pivot to fulfillment? What does customer fulfillment mean to you, Alick?
Fulfillment to me is, kind of goes back to the comment I made earlier about confidence. I think it's important to maintain your client's confidence in you. Like, when things do go bad, which if you're speaking with your insurance agent after you gain your policies, there's probably a reason, and it's probably not a good reason. Something happened, and you want full confidence in when that time comes. You don't want to have to ask any questions. You just want to know that the promise that has been made on both ends is being upheld.
Yeah, and that's it. We fulfill the promise that we give them in the sales process, right? Yeah. So what is our promise as an agency? Well, it's based upon what we do, how we do it, and why we do it, right? So when we sit down with clients and we tell them, what we do is protect you from the actual risk you face every day. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to sell you a policy that means you're not going to sell you a policy that you don't need because you don't actually have that risk.
Right.
Right. And we do that through competency. So that means that we're going to know what we're doing and we're going to properly apply the coverages of the policy to the risks you face.
Right.
We do it through love, which means we're going to be kind in our interactions with you. We're not jerks. We're not achievement driven a-holes. We care. And that's the number one feedback I get from people. Hey, I talked to Haley today and she took such great care of me and treated me so well. And I just really appreciate it. She's the highlight of my day. Like, that's loving people. Yeah. And through teamwork, we approach every client's needs as a team. So Megan on our team just got married a couple weeks ago. Team stepped up. I just did a review last night that would have been booked on the week that she was gone. Well, it wasn't booked with her because she wasn't there. So as a team, we took care of that client. I was on vacation, and while I was gone, the team took care of my clients, so to speak. The people that I onboarded were taken care of while I was gone. That's a teamwork. And the reason why we do that way is because we want our clients to have the peace of mind of knowing that their insurance will do exactly what they need it to do when they need it the most. Because that's what they're paying for.
Yeah, no matter the time. I mean, because
they deserve it, right? I mean, listeners, let me ask you this. What good is an insurance policy that doesn't pay when you need it?
It's not good at all. I mean, it's a waste of money.
But I can get a better price over here. But if it doesn't pay you, then you're literally just throwing your money in the sewer.
Right.
Right. My wife had this great post on her business page. It was like, someone can always do it for less money. And it had the Mona Lisa, and then it had like a kid's crayon drawing of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, it's true. Someone can always do it for less money, but will that policy do what you need it to do?
Right.
So for our business, fulfillment of that promise that it's actually going to do what they need to do when they need it the most isn't something that we can only leave to when they actually need it. Because the peace of mind of knowing that they'll have it when they need it shouldn't first occur when they actually have a loss.
Right.
It should be there as a constant thing in the background that they lay their head on the pillow. And out of the million things that they worry about that day, one of them is not insurance.
Right.
Because Luke Mardigan took really good care of them, and they have peace of mind knowing that I'm doing exactly what I promised and we're fulfilling it on a daily basis.
Right.
And so that feeling is invaluable. You can't put a dollar amount to that.
Knowing an instance could occur that is very bad and still being able to go to sleep at peace. Like I do that at times, I growing up, we had a house fire, lost everything. And so that's something that stayed with me, ever since then.
Wow.
And, I unplug hair dryers every time I leave the house. I double check candles. I do everything. I'm weird about turning on lights, and if I hear something weird inside of a light switch, believe it or not, like things like that happen in my life. And just knowing, like, when I go to bed, like if something does happen, that it's going to be okay. Yeah. Because insurance was an issue after that house fire for my parents, and that happened when I was 6 years old, and just up until a few years ago, it was still a problem in their life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah, of course.
And that's exactly it, and that's why I left doing fraud investigation and opened this agency, because I saw claim after claim after claim where the agent made mistakes and told the people they had the coverage they needed, and they didn't, because they tried to sell them a policy for $50 or $70 less a year than what they were paying before. And that's, 5 pizzas for their family, and they just made a budget decision, a dollar decision.
Right.
In the 6 years that we've been open as an agency, we have never once had a claim not paid that should have been paid had we done our job right. 100% paid. I don't know if there's another agency in the planet that can say that.
That's pretty incredible.
That is the peace of mind that you get when you have somebody who knows what they're doing. Going through refi, wrapping it up. I think we're going to close in the next week or two. Refi at my house. My mortgage lender is amazing. I have complete peace of mind, and I have not worried 1 minute in this entire process about whether he was going to get it done and get it done correctly and get me the best rate and make sure everything was in line. Not once, because he's a professional.
Right. He
fulfilled the promise to me that he said, I can take care of you, and I will.
Yeah.
That's customer fulfillment. That's not customer service.
Not at all.
So fulfilling the promise. What's cool is this is not a foreign concept to business. It's a foreign concept to service industries. Right?
Yeah.
So can you think of a business outside of the service industry that fulfillment is something they do on a daily basis?
There's a lot of examples depending on how you look at it.
One of them has a business named after their business, and the second word is fulfillment.
Drawing a blank.
Amazon fulfillment.
Oh yeah, sorry. Right.
It's okay. I put you on the spot.
Yeah.
And our listeners were probably like, Amazon, screaming at you the whole time. Like, what was this guy?
Guys.
Why'd you hire him? Alex is sorry for letting you down, not fulfilling his promise.
Written so many papers on Amazon.
Have you?
Yeah, probably 5.
Really? No way. Well,
absolutely.
That's plenty
I have to email those to you.
Plenty to study.
Yeah.
But Amazon fulfillment, right? So when you think about that, when you order something on Amazon, what does fulfillment look like for them?
When you click order, you know for a fact that you're going to get your product probably within a day, if not at least, guaranteed in 2 days, but probably within a day. Yep. Even when they tell you 2 days, it still shows up somehow in less than a day at times.
And if it doesn't, they give you a credit.
Right.
Like they pay you for the day that it wasn't delivered.
I've gotten Amazon credits that were more than what I've paid for a product.
Yeah.
Which is just mind blowing to me.
Oh yeah. And then I just go buy ebooks with them. I need more. But that's it. They're fulfilling the promise that when you order something from them, they're going to get it to you in a timely fashion. If you're a Prime member, they're guaranteeing it in 2 days. So fulfillment for them, what it looks like on the back end is giant warehouses with robots and conveyor belts and elevators and all types of fancy automation and software in the background that takes care of the inventory and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. But reality is none of that matters to the client. What matters to the client is that the promise they made that they would have it delivered in 2 days is fulfilled.
It's just fulfilled, yeah.
Client fulfillment. So if you're contacting Amazon because your package didn't get there in time, now it's customer service.
Yep.
And in the service industry, that should be the very last thing that happens.
Couldn't agree more.
That should be like the worst case scenario, very rare. Customer fulfillment is always the goal moving forward. So if this sounds like something you want to build into your agency, I can help you with that. My consulting business helps insurance agents every day grow their books of business, increase productivity, and reduce inefficiencies. Go to lsm.consulting. That's lsm.consulting for more information. And as always, connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at The Mardigan Agency. Thanks, and we'll see you next time on Be Insured.